Hello guys, welcome to JS's Python series. So today we shall be covering functions in Python, and then this is my outline. I will be able to define what a function is, and then I'll show you why we need a function. I'll show you how we write a function in Python, and then we shall do a small program that will be able to add two numbers using functions. Thank you. Let's dive into the code. So many times when you are doing programming, for example, you just want to add two numbers, you just write a variable like x equals 10, then you write another one, y equals what? Equals 10. Okay, let me say y is equal to 15. And then the next thing you'll do, you'll say, I want to add x plus y, and then you say x plus y. X plus y, that is 25. So ideally, you would not want to do the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. So you would want to write a function such that when you want to add two numbers or three numbers, you just call that function and then it does for you the adding of the numbers. What am I meaning here? Functions are just blocks of code that are written to help us do a particular task. For example, in this example, we are adding two numbers, that is 10 and 15. But then we can be able to write a program that can be able to add these two numbers without having to re-add every time we have any two numbers. So to write a function in Python, we use the def keyword. You just write def and then you write the function name. So today we are going to write a function that will add two numbers. I'll call it sum. And then you open and close these brackets, and then use this colon sign, and then press enter. So whenever you're writing a function in Python, you should already start with def and then the name of the function, and then open brackets, and then use the colons. Are we together? I hope we are together on that. So since I've told you this function is going to be adding two numbers, and then I'll name a variable. Let me call it v, which will be equal to x plus y. But because it is a function, it should be able to return something. So whenever we write a function, we put some block of code it will execute, and then we'll say return what it is supposed to do. And then in this case, I want it to return v, which is the sum of x plus y. Then I'll say return v, return v. So our function should be able to take up x and y. So let me repeat this. We have defined a function which is sum. It takes x and y, and then it computes the sum x plus y, which is v, and then it should be able to return what? V. So anytime we have any two numbers, we just call this function, and then it will give us the sum of these two numbers. Let me run this, and then you'll see. So if I have any two numbers like 10 and 15 I want to add, I just write sum, and then I open these brackets, and then I put in the x, which is 10, and then the y, which is 15, and then I run. So it will give me 25. So the other thing is that a function can be able to return a given number of variables, not only one, but it can return whatever I want. So for example, let me assume this function is called sum, or let me call it math. And then in math, we are supposed to have sum, where sum is x plus y, and then we are supposed to have multiplication, which is mult, where mult is x minus y. Let me call this sum. Let me call this, okay, let me call it add. And then I have mult, and then I have division, call it div, which is x over y. And then I have what else? We have addition, multiplication, we have subtraction. I'll call it sub. which is x minus y. Oh, yeah, this is x minus y, so the multi is x times y. Yeah, so I want my function to return. First, I'll return add. I'll use a comma to return mult. I'll use a comma to return div. And I'll use a comma to return sub. And then I'll run. I'll use the same values, that is 10 and 15. So I'll say, remember our function is now math. I'll call math. Then I'll put in the two values, which is 10 and 15. And then I'll run it. So as you will see, it will return for me, it will give me a list with the addition. This is the added number, which is 10 plus 15, which is 25. This is 15, 10 times 15, this is 150. And then this is the division for 10 over 15. And then this is the subtraction of 10 minus 15. We can even modify our function to be able to do for three numbers. Let me include x, y, and then z. Say that the addition is x plus y plus z. And then the multiplication is x times y and then times z. And then the subtraction or the division is x over y over z. And then the subtraction is x minus y minus z. And then I run it. So when I run this, because it will give me an error, it will tell me it is missing a position argument z, because I have changed the math function. So I'll be able to add another value, which is, let me pick 7. So when I run it, it will give me the addition of these three numbers, the multiplication, the division, and the subtraction. Yeah. Let me hope this video has helped you to learn something about functions. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button, and don't forget to share with a friend. Thank you. See you in the other video.